Tuyisenge Aurelia. I'm a student in Kibogora Polytechnic. Now my reg number is 2302373. I'm going to explain second language learning theory. The first one is behaviorist theory coined by Alfred Binet and Skinner. Behaviorist theory developed this was carrying out a series of experiments in animals. They observed that a rat or bird, for example, could be taught to be perform various tasks of encouraging habit forming. Research reward desirable behavior. This was known as positive reinforcement. And desired behavior was punished, which is called by negative reinforcement. Skinner suggests that a child initiates the language of its parents covers. Success-free attempts are rewards because an adult who recognizes a word spoken by a child will praise the child and give it what is asking for. There is limitation about this theory of behaviorism. The first one is language is based on a set of structures or rules which could not work at a simple by imitating individual tendencies. The second is the vast majority of children go through the same stages of language acquisition. There appears to be defined sequence of steps. The first is child are often unable to repeat what an adult says. Child are often unable to repeat what an adult says, especially if the adult uterus contain a structure the child has not yet started to use. Here, every child is unable to repeat what the adult says because they are somehow complex, and it is also has barriers in speaking. Also, Skinner spoken by a child will praise to a child who give it what is asking for. To mean that here Skinner says that you have to give what a child asks for. The second theory is innatist. Innatist theory or mentalist theory was developed by Noam Chomsky, who is an American. Noam Chomsky is a result of the weakness in the behaviorist. The majority principle of innatist is that everybody learns a language not because they are subject to a similar conditioning process, but because they possess an inborn capacity which permit them to acquire a language is a normal maturation process. There is evidence to support the innatist theory. The evidence that supports innatist theory are the following. First one, Sablin has pointed out that human anatomy is specularly accepted to the production of speech. The formation of clearly variants of English appears to be the result of language acquisition device at work. Studies of sign language used by deaf has shown that from being good gestures replacing spoken words. The third theory of second language theory is Krashen or monitor's theory. Of the most practical out of the theory because his position gives actual strategy you can use to learn English. There is set of 5 hypotheses that build off each and outline process everyone gets through to learn language. To mean that here Stefan Krashen have 5 hypotheses. The first one is the acquisition learning hypothesis. The second is input hypothesis. The third is monitor hypothesis. The fourth is natural order hypothesis. The last is the affective filter hypothesis. What does it mean, what we call acquisition learning hypothesis? This actually focuses to fundamental of how individual learn language that are acquired system related to and consciousness of language acquire and learn system related to acquire knowledge about target language. The second is the output hypothesis. Language learning comes from having access to comprehensible input material that's challenging but still understandable. Here to mean that the language is more understandable by a child. Where her memory try to understand and to speak what he or she memorize or learn through learning process. The third is monitor hypothesis. As we develop, we build an internal filter designed to prevent us from making a mistake. The fourth is natural order hypothesis. Language has layer and complexity. The fifth is the affective filter hypothesis. What does it mean, what we call affective filter hypothesis? Affective filter hypothesis, this is stress inhabits training to maximize language learning result. Pupil should learn in a here zero stress environment. Thank you for listening me.